basic skill course in mountaineering. This 2-day adventure might be the most compact mountaineering course I've ever taken. Here's what I learned and how it all went. Day 1. We met in Grindelwald, where we received all of our gear, after which we head straight to the Glacier Canyon. The guide showed us what he usually brings on such trips. We learned a lot about different types of ropes, carabiners, slings, harnesses, climbing anchors, and other important gear that we are about to use for the mountaineering. We put on the harness and prepared all the necessary gear for the day. Then we started learning how to walk on different terrains with practical tips from the mountain guide. We learned how to ascend and descend. Then it was time to learn how to tie knots, all sorts of knots, including knots for keeping yourself safely attached to the rope.
I take that rope, I go once around the other one who is hanging down and come from the back side. And it gives me the figure of 8. We pass through the 2 parts of our harness, follow exactly the other rope parallel all the time. Around 20 centimeters.
We also learned a belaying knot.
Go to that position and then I close the book,
which we use to practice trust and safe belaying. We started small with no risk involved and even touched a bit of multi-pitch climbing.
That is the same knot you see here.
For lunch, everyone except me had sandwiches, and it's actually recommended that you bring your own food. But if you're fast, there's a nearby restaurant where you can have a proper lunch. After the lunch break, guides set up the ropes for us to start climbing. We practiced the belaying knot. We practiced how to walk and climb on such a terrain. Once we started to feel more confident about our climbing and belaying skills, guides taught us how to tie a Prusik knot.
I put the knot once, twice around the rope and go pass through that, like that.
And also how to build the whole rappelling system.
And you can start with the Prusik, fix it direct into my harness. Then I can take that one, I take this one, watch, okay, the direction, put it in here, put it in here. Length is okay, it doesn't go in, if you see it, can't go in. I can start descending.
After packing our stuff, we had a few last words, after which we were brought back to the town. Day 2. We met at the Grindelwald terminal and we head directly to the Eigergletscher, where we started our snow training with Eiger, Munter, Jungfrau and beautiful glaciers in the background. First, we talked about different types of ice axes.
You see, this part has no teeth like this here, and this is the perfect ice axe to hit steps in the ice.
Including how to walk with one on snow.
Otherwise, if you would use it on the downhill side, you have nearly to go on your knees.
The guide gave a demonstration of how to save yourself in case you slip and start sliding down.
But otherwise, what I will do, I go down, I grab my ice axe and I pull it in like that. Put in the ice axe, do it very slow. It's the meaning that you slow down, not to stop, because otherwise if you hit it in like that and the ice axe is on top, you are down.
We talked about ice screws, then it was time to put on crampons.
I go in here in front, in this part here, the really plastic one, yeah? Because sometimes here it's a little bit softer and then it doesn't work. And put it in, and you see, it's quite hard, that even if I have to, it's not finished, but like that I don't lose it. We grab this one here, pass through both holes, you come back through one. We can practice double fish net. It doesn't matter which knot.
And practice walking on snow and also on rock. After putting on harness, we learned all the basic knowledge, how to rope up, distances, more knots, tips and tricks, safety procedures, everything we need to know to survive on the glacier. The guide also showed us how to anchor ourselves in case someone falls into crevasse with only soft snow available, which led us to convince him to show us how he would rescue someone who has fallen into crevasse.
Especially in this position, even if you try.
Then we moved indoors to have a lunch break where we talked about planning and organizing trips. We talked about different levels of difficulty for hikes. We talked about weather. We talked about where to find information and generally useful tips and tricks. After day 2, everyone said goodbye. We gave back the gear and we were ready to go home.